Oh, hey guys. It's been a while. It's good to see you all again. Got a special video for you all today. We are going to be leaving the realm of beers and trying, sampling, and tasting seltzers today. Hard seltzers. Now, I gotta tell you all beforehand, I'm not the biggest seltzer drinker. White Claw was my first introduction, then I've tasted the Trulies, and I gotta say, don't really like the flavor. Oftentimes they just give me bloatedness and heartburn, but there are a few new players on the playing field this time around, and I think we should give them a try. We're going to start off with the basic one that everyone knows, kind of to anchor us there, and then we will work our way to the more interesting examples. Again, I got 3 for you to try, and we're going to start off with the basic White Claw today. Just to keep things consistent, this is a tangerine White Claw hard seltzer, spiked sparkling water with a hint of tangerine. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this, but we're just going to do that so that I can adjust my palate. I mostly have beer and meads and wine, so not the biggest seltzer drinker. So we got our handy dandy glass right here. I'm gonna pour me some. I'm sure you all know what seltzers look like. There's no pretty colors. There's no gold like there is in beer. Looks like carbonated water. Cool. Let's give it a taste. Yep. It's pretty bland. It tastes like carbonated water with a splash of alcohol. Enough of these get you... Ooh, can I speak today? Enough of these get you pretty messed up. But... as you've all tasted White Claw before, that there's not a lot of flavor, there's a lot of gas, and if you drink enough of these, you get the burps, you get bloated, you feel stuffed. And that's probably my biggest complaint when it comes to White Claws and Trulies. I think those are pretty similar in nature. But yeah, I mean, is it the most disgusting thing? No, of course not. I mean, there's worse out there. Looking at you, happy dads, but yeah, I mean, just there's a lot to be desired here with a White Claw. But, you know, if you're at a rager or a college rager or something like that, these will do the job and get you pretty messed up if you have enough of them. But yeah, I don't really need to complete that. We're going to put that to the side. That was just really there to, like, anchor our palate. And we're going to try something a little unusual, probably the wild card. Not the main event, but the wild card. Get another glass, brand new, clean. We are going to try the Corona Sunbrew Citrus Cerveza. You know, this is also citrus flavor. It says beer, Cerveza, but from my experiences, these aren't really like that. And I kind of put this in this category. Yeah, it smells like beer, but you know. Sunbrew Citrus Cerveza. Let's see what color this is. Gotta say, not the biggest fan. It's like I combined orange juice, seltzer, and beer together and was hoping for something. Don't really like these. There's not a lot of flavor going on. It's there. I mean, you get the orange, you do, but those flavor notes that you were hoping to get from like something related to beer, like the bready notes, you know, stuff like that beer drinkers like. You're not really getting that except for like a small aftertaste. And this really isn't a seltzer per se, but I put it in this category just because this is not a beer in my opinion. This is not a beer. And this is kind of just something it's kind of something for this brand to kind of just throw into that market. You know, like, okay, well, what are my options? White Claws, Trulies, Corona Sunbrew, Happy Dads. And there's this booming sector of seltzers, but I didn't really like this one. In fact, I kind of put the White Claw here because it is its seltzer. It's winning at what it is, I guess. And then this is kind of that half in the middle beer seltzer thing. The wild card, as I said. But yeah, just like, again, you look at that, just you know, again, this is the only place for this is like a college party. If you like seltzers, I feel like you might like this, especially if you like orange flavors. You know what this is attempting to be like? If you've ever made yourself a Corona Sunrise, you know, you drink a little bit of that Corona from the real Corona beer. You put a little red grenadine and some orange juice. Boom. Oh, and a splash of tequila. This is what this is attempting to be like in a can, but it's not there. You just have the real Corona Sunrise. This is just beer seltzer and orange juice or orange flavoring. Yeah, really disappointing. So far, the least exciting of the two that we've tried. And so let's put that back over there. I don't really want to finish that. So we have the last one, and probably, in my opinion, the main event. I've been hearing a lot about this particular seltzer, and some people have liked it. Some people have really, really liked it, and some people have been like, eh. The reason I'm kind of trying all these is because I really want there to be a White Claw defeater. Something that kind of takes the reign from the White Claw and it just really tastes really good and kind of, you know, shines where seltzers need to desperately shine. And that one would hopefully be, let's find out, the Nutrl Seltzer. Vodka seltzer, real juice, and this flavor is let me just preface by saying vodka with real fruit juices, sparkling water, and natural flavors. Most seltzers are vodka. This one's the classic lemonade to keep our citrus theme going. New clean glass, and let's try the Nutrl Seltzer. This smells like lemonade. All right, let's pour that out there. Okay, this was kind of the cloudiest of them all, but still clear. All right, let's pour that out there and let's give it a taste. So again, let's just, the cloudier of the ones. White Claw was clearer. Okay. Okay. So that's refreshing. It's not giving me that weird aftertaste that most seltzers do. Which I can't stand. Wow. Okay, of the three we've tried, definitely already this is the best tasting one. But again, I'm not comparing it to the strongest contenders. I'm comparing it to the name of the category, White Claw. I'm comparing it to the Corona's attempt at this market. I guess I'm kind of comparing it to a Truly because I know what those taste like and I don't like those. I'm comparing it to a Happy Dad, and those are, in my opinion, not that good. So not a lot of strong contenders. So when I tell you that this is the best tasting one, don't get the most excited, but please, by all means, go and give this a try. I think that this is a really good tasting seltzer. If I were at a function and someone hands me this, I would not be mad. I'd be like, oh yeah, let me get one of those. It's good tasting. I mean, like, there are other flavors, and unfortunately I don't have those flavors out, but this is a really, really good flavor. Wow. Okay, so how can I say this? It's like a spritz. You know, imagine I wanted to make a cocktail, a splash of vodka, carbonated water, and I threw in some lemonade. And the reason I say that is because it feels like I actually tasted this. It doesn't feel like mass-produced chemical flavoring, yada yada. This actually kind of tastes real. I'm not saying it is real. I'm just saying it tastes more real than a White Claw and a Corona Sunbrew, whatever that is. And for that reason, it's good tasting. I got to give it a good score. And I think I want to differentiate my scores with beer and meads and stuff like that. Seltzers are going to have their own category. I'm going to give this a strong 8.5 for the seltzer category. It's pretty good. I mean, I really have nothing negative to say about the flavoring. You know, keep in mind though, it is a seltzer. If you don't like seltzers, you're not going to like this. You know, a lot of individuals like myself included, their go-to is going to be beer or their go-to is going to be for a fancy occasion, wine, meads, stuff like that. At a party, I'm going to bring, you know, a 6-pack of, you know, Rainier, Douglas, something interesting, but I'm not going to go for a seltzer, but if it's there, hopefully they have this one, because this is already leagues better than White Claw and the other option there. So yeah, that's a pretty decent, you know, package right there. Vodka seltzer, real juice, 100 calories, real fruit juice. Okay, so let's compare that can to the Sunbrew Corona, which was unfortunately not that good. And then here is the White Claw. I believe these are all 100 calories. Let me just check that that is the case. Okay, I cannot determine by the Corona, but the Nutrl and the White Claw are 100 calories. So that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty decent. Again, if you like seltzers, please go ahead and give Nutrl a try. I really like those. It's a nice surprise. I wasn't expecting much, but that is a really good flavor. I like that. So yeah, guys, until next time, we're probably going to go back to beer reviews, but I will see you in the next video.